Hey Wally, come talk to the sack of tits for me and explain to him what we're doing here exactly.
I'm held responsible for over 15,000 kills, and I'm completely off all records in any country.
Take him down!
I've been hired today by a mystery man, an enigma of sorts. He runs some kind of graffiti ring.
Committed suicide on the spot.
Why?
Most of them couldn't stand stabbing a nun in the face with a number 2 pencil.
Nothing beats taking out some enemies with your old man. Steve! Stop that right this second!
Yeah.
Steve!
You ever wonder why we're here?
Hello there, I'm Vigalius, and this is a tough one for me. I never like telling people what my favourite game ever made is because it's kind of dumb, because my favourite game is a remaster. This is genuinely what I think is the greatest game ever made. And obviously, as you can tell by the title and its introduction, but mostly by the title because it says what it is in the title, it's Halo the Master Chief Collection. And it always, frustrates me to be like, oh, my favourite game ever made is just a collection of remastered games, because technically my favourite game ever made is Halo 3. But this game was so tremendous, so masterful, so phenomenally constructed, that it's better in this experience. My favourite game, as shocking as it sounds, was made better by this experience, and that is just completely mind-blowing to me, and that's why MCC is my favourite game, because the compilation of it is just amazing. I'm dumbfounding. I'm struggling to find the correct adjectives to keep this going, because it's... oh, they're adjectives? Because it's amazing. MCC was such a fantastic experience, and unfortunately I think it is sort of being sunsetted now. They're kind of backing off of it again. And I will say that when it came out, it was a complete mess and people were not happy about it. It didn't run particularly well and there were major issues. But over time, they fixed it and shaped it into what I would consider to be my favourite game ever made. It's the game that I have the most time clocked into of any game, and the one that I will always keep coming back to because I absolutely adore this game. Yeah, it's Halo the Master Chief Collection. When you just consider how much content is in this game, it is absolutely mind-blowing. It really is. I mean, you have Halo CE, 2, 3, Reach, ODST, and 4 on this disc, and that's just in terms of campaign, my dude. That has Halo CE, the original in 60 FPS 4K, and then the remaster version, which you can switch back between the original and the remastered, and the same goes for Halo 2. Each of these has been given the 60 FPS 4K treatment, and so every single game is in the best state that it's ever been in. And the original Halo trilogy, I don't care what anyone says, is the greatest trilogy of all time in video games, and to have it in 4K 60 FPS, like full screen, and just looking as crisp and great as it could, it's just a reinforcement of how great these games are, because when you clean them up and give them, the modern treatment, by the way, I'm saying 60 FPS, it's even better on PC, and it's a testament to how, like, if you smooth those edges out and take away, some of the issues gameplay wise of the past, these games are so fun to play, and they still are. They're still an absolute blast to play. But then you look at the freaking multiplayer suite, dude. The multiplayer, oh my god, I'm just gushing throughout this entire video, but the multiplayer suite is so tremendous, and the construction, the multiplayer composer, I suppose you would call it, is an absolutely fantastic. So you have the Halo CE multiplayer, 2, 3, 2 remastered, Reach, and 4, all in one big block of multiplayer. And to the uninitiated, there's no changing discs, no changing game or anything like that. No, it's all bundled into one big block of games, and you get to select which game you want to go on, or which games you want to include during your search, and then you get to select which game modes you want to include during your search as well. So you have like the blocks of the games at the top, and then beneath it you have the game types, and you can completely customize that. For example, most of the time I would run 1, 2, 3, and sometimes Reach, but you could have like 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and Reach, or 1 and Reach, or 3. You know, you could just have that on your own. You can have Big Team Battle, or you can have Team Slayer, or Elimination, or CTF, and you can take those out and stuff like. And when you think about all of the different brackets that go into that, right? Like I could have Halo 2 with just CTF, or Halo 2 Team Slayer Lone Wolves, or I could have Halo Reach, Halo 2, Team Slayer, Lone Wolves. Like I could do all of these different things, and you just get a constant stream of matches that are curated to exactly what you wanted. And in 2019, they added proper Halo Reach style ranking, which is when you level up, your rank goes up. Sorry, when you do stuff in the game, you earn XP, and then you level up and your rank goes up. And it's just the most simple, basic ranking system, and it works, and it's so much better than what was there previously. And it's very addictive. I will say that maybe it took a very long time to level up, but then when you bumped into one of these guys who was a high rank, it's like, holy shit, dude. They even added, by the way, a couple of maps. Yes, every single map from each of the games that I mentioned is in this game, with the inclusion of a couple of extra Halo 2 anniversary maps, and then beyond that, over time they added a couple of Halo 3 custom game what was it? It was Halo Custom Edition maps to Halo 3 in the game. And speaking of additions, they then expanded on the customization. This game had seven seasons of Battle Pass. Every single one was completely 100% free. You didn't have to pay for a single one. With each new season, they just added a new Battle Pass. You could go back and do any Battle Pass you wanted at any time. And you could unlock a wealth of stuff. And the greatest thing about it was, you could switch that off if you wanted to. If you didn't think that the experience was being authentic enough because people were walking around with backpacks with axes on them, don't worry about it, dude. You can turn that off. You can just go, actually, I want the vanilla experience and I want everyone to have the classic vanilla armor. From my perspective, that person can still have that armor, you just won't see it. How awesome is that? It's just like everything about this game was, for the player. You could also forge on every single map that they had in the game. There were custom games on every single map. There was a customs browser so that you could, download these games and play them with your friends. It was very intuitive. The whole experience was very smooth. They added challenges. So every week, I remember I would go into the game and play a few campaign missions so that I could earn some XP and some cosmetic battle pass unlocks. And it just kept you coming back in. You would constantly be unlocking challenges as you played the game. You get that little pop up at the bottom as you're playing this game. But overall, the main thing is that the gameplay in all of these games, with the exception of 4, was just so brilliant, and to an extent Reach. But that original trilogy of gameplay was just so excellent, and having that in 60 FPS particularly, but also in 4K, just made the experience that much better. I do think that Reach, I didn't overly enjoy the gameplay in Reach when it came out, but I learned through this game that what I wanted was a crisper, sharper and smoother experience, and that's what I got out of Reach in MCC. It was 60 FPS and it was 4K, and it absolutely worked for me, and it was an absolute, it's a blast. It's a lot of fun to play on MCC. But not as good as 1, 2, and 3, I'm sorry. And they each have their different flavor too. 1 is very fast and ridiculous. 2 is a little slower and more calculated, but 3 is even slower than that. And they all work in their own individual ways. And it's just, you can play this game for 5 hours and constantly be having different Halo experiences without skipping a beat, without missing a thing, and with complete ease. And I just think that's remarkable. This game is a crowning achievement. It's easily the best remaster I've ever played in my entire life, and I consider myself very lucky to have lived through a time where this remastered set exists, because it was, when all of the issues were ironed out, this was an absolutely tremendous experience, and I think just the best game that you could possibly play. So if you still haven't, do it. It's on Game Pass, and you have so much to experience through this series, and so many stories as well. So thank you, 343, for this collection and for this incredible experience, and I guess I'll see everyone later.
The PlayStation's only $149, and you can also get leading titles.